Kai floated in the quiet of the horizon, the human research station orbiting a pale blue planet far from Earth. The station was a mixture of old and new technology. Some parts had been abandoned for decades, left by explorers who had never returned. Kai loved these sections. They smelled of history and mystery. As the station's engineer, he often spent hours inspecting old modules, hoping to find something unusual. That morning, Kai checked the storage bay that had been sealed for centuries. The metal walls were scratched and faded, covered with markings he did not understand. The module had been part of an alien expedition long before humans colonized the system. The station's database had little information, only a warning: do not open. Kai ignored it. Warnings were meant to protect, not to stop discovery. His fingers traced the strange symbols carved into the door. They looked like a combination of shapes and lines, something that might be a language, but not any Kai had ever seen. He called the station's AI, Nora, to help him analyze the lock. "Nora," Kai said, "this door is not just old. It is sophisticated. The lock is unlike anything we have. Help me figure it out." Nora's voice was calm, precise, and sometimes a little too formal. "Analysis complete, Kai. The mechanism appears to use an energy field combined with mechanical locking. It is designed to prevent forced entry. I recommend caution," Kai smiled. Caution was for people who never wanted to see the unknown. "I can handle it," he replied. He started working, using his tools to interact with the panels beside the door. The lock responded slowly, emitting soft hums as circuits awakened. Sparks of energy danced along the edges. Kai's hands moved with careful precision. Every time he thought he understood the pattern, it changed. It was as if the lock was alive. Hours passed. The station's artificial sunlight moved across the bay, turning shadows into angles that made the room feel larger. Kai did not notice. He was focused, fascinated, driven by curiosity. Finally, the final panel clicked. The hum grew louder and the energy field shimmered. Kai stepped back, holding his breath. Slowly, the door slid open, revealing a chamber bathed in soft blue light. Inside, he saw a pod. It looked like crystal, clear yet solid, reflecting the light in thousands of tiny rainbows. Inside the pod was a figure. At first, it seemed like a sculpture, but then Kai noticed the gentle rise and fall of its chest. It was alive. Kai's heart raced. He floated closer, his gloves brushing the edges of the pod. Sensors he carried beeped softly, confirming life signs, though unusual. The readings were too strong to be human. The energy field surrounding the pod pulsed faintly. It was powerful. Kai whispered almost to himself, "Who are you?" The rest of the station crew watched through monitors. Some were curious, others nervous. Commander Lana's voice came over the intercom. "Kai, report. What did you find?" Kai's voice trembled with excitement. "It's alive, Commander. There's a figure in a stasis pod. The energy readings, I've never seen anything like it. It might be alien, but it's unlike anything we know." There was a pause. Then Lana said, "Do not open it further. Seal the room. We do not know what we are dealing with." Kai shook his head. "I cannot. This is history. This is knowledge. We need to understand," Nora added, caution advised. "The being inside may pose a threat if disturbed. Historical records suggest alien stasis technology can be unpredictable." Kai felt a mix of fear and excitement. He understood the risk, but the chance to study something that had survived centuries was worth it. Carefully, he began scanning the pod, running instruments over its surface. The readings were astonishing. The being inside had a life force that radiated beyond the pod. Its biology was unlike anything humans had catalogued. Hours turned into the station's artificial night. Kai worked tirelessly, taking notes, adjusting sensors, and trying to understand the energy patterns. Every time he touched a control panel on the pod, it seemed to react. The crystal walls shimmered brighter, and the air felt charged. Kai was not alone in his fascination. Other scientists began to watch the readings remotely. Dr. Hana, a xenobiologist, spoke through the intercom. "Kai, do you understand what you found? If this is what it appears to be, this could change everything we know about life in the galaxy." Kai nodded, though he could not speak. He continued his work, slowly unlocking the interface. The pod had no visible openings, only a series of locks that responded to gestures, sounds, and energy patterns. It was designed to prevent accidental awakening. Kai knew he had to be careful. One wrong move could be catastrophic. Finally, the final layer of the pod dissolved under his careful manipulations. The crystal walls melted into a mist, revealing the figure fully. Kai floated back amazed. The being was tall and elegant, with a form that seemed both familiar and entirely alien. Its skin shimmered with a faint glow and delicate patterns ran along its limbs. Its face was serene, calm, and somehow commanding. Kai's hand hovered over the control panel. "Nora status," he whispered. "Life signs stable," Nora replied. "Vital functions within safe parameters. Unknown energy continues to radiate. Proceed with extreme caution." Kai took a deep breath. He could feel the presence of something ancient, intelligent, and powerful. He had opened the door, but now he realized the true responsibility. He was not just discovering history. He was confronting it. The pod dissolved completely, leaving the being in the chamber. It remained still, eyes closed, as if sleeping. Kai studied it, noting the patterns of energy around its body. Then slowly the being stirred. Its eyes opened, revealing colors that shifted like liquid metal. Kai felt a strange pull in his chest, a mix of awe and fear. The being spoke not in words but in Kai's mind. A voice echoed in his thoughts, soft yet firm. "Who awakens me?" Kai floated backwards, startled. "I am Kai," he said aloud. "I am human. I did not mean to wake you." The being's gaze focused on him. Human, curious, strong. The voice was like a melody and a command at the same time. "Why have you disturbed my rest?" Kai swallowed. "I wanted to understand. I wanted to learn." The being paused. Its eyes scanned the room, taking in the station, the humans watching through monitors, the technology around it. "You are different. Not like the others." Kai felt a mixture of relief and tension. He knew he had to tread carefully. This was not just an alien. This was something that had ruled a galaxy long before humans had walked among the stars. Commander Lana's voice came over the intercom again, firm and wary. "Kai, step back." Everyone maintained distance. "We do not know its intentions." Kai nodded, floating back slowly. The being observed him for a long moment, then spoke again in his mind. "Human, you have awakened me. You will see what comes next. You must be ready." Kai's mind raced. He had opened the door. He had woken the being. He did not yet understand what consequences this action would bring. He only knew one thing for certain. Life aboard the Horizon would never be the same again. As the being rose from the pod, the chamber filled with light. Energy radiated from it, subtle but powerful. Kai felt it in his chest, a warmth and a pull he could not explain. He realized that the being's awakening was not just about the past. It was about the future. The alien queen had awoken, and humans, starting with Kai, were the first to witness her return. Kai knew he had a choice. Fear could control him, or curiosity and courage could guide him. He chose the latter. The chamber was quiet after the alien queen, Elara, rose from her crystalline pod. Her presence filled the room with an almost magnetic energy, a force that humans could feel but not fully understand. Her eyes, metallic and shifting like liquid light, scanned the station, the humans on monitors, and finally settled on Kai. Kai floated in place, trying to remain calm. His heart pounded, but he could not look away. Elara's presence was unlike anything he had ever encountered. She was both delicate and commanding, graceful yet strong. Her very being seemed to resonate with intelligence that spanned centuries. Kai took a deep breath. "I am Kai, engineer of the Horizon. We mean no harm. We only seek to understand." Elara's gaze softened slightly, but her voice echoed in his mind, firm yet melodic. "Human, your curiosity has awakened me. Few have dared to disturb my rest. Why should I trust you?" Kai swallowed. "Because we are not like those who came before. We explore, we learn, and we survive through understanding. I cannot speak for all humans, but I speak honestly." Her eyes shifted, and Kai felt as if she was examining every thought, every memory, every intention. "Your words are truthful. Yet truth alone is not enough. Actions will tell me more." The queen moved slowly, her limbs extending with elegance. Her body seemed to flow with an energy that Kai could sense but could not measure. The room responded to her presence. The lights pulsed in sync with her movements. Machines hummed gently as if alive, and Kai realized the energy of the chamber was linked to her being. Commander Lana's voice came over the intercom. "Kai, maintain distance. Everyone stay alert. We do not know the full scope of her capabilities." Kai nodded, floating backward slightly. He understood the caution, but he also sensed something deeper. Elara was not hostile, at least not yet. She was testing, observing, deciding. Suddenly, Elara extended a hand toward the station's console. The machines responded immediately, lights changing, panels shifting, and displays rearranging themselves. She did not touch them directly, but energy flowed from her hand, guiding the systems. Kai watched in awe. Human, your technology is primitive yet adaptable. I sense potential. Kai felt a thrill of pride. Thank you. We have learned to improvise. We do not always have the tools, so we create solutions with what we have. Elara's gaze softened. Adaptability, creativity, courage. Traits that were rare among civilizations I once ruled. Humans are different. Kai floated closer cautiously. We are eager to learn and we are ready to work with you. We want to understand the galaxy as you once did. The Queen tilted her head. Understanding comes with responsibility. Knowledge can destroy or create. Humans must decide which path they will follow. Kai nodded. He understood the weight of her words. This was not merely about science. This was about morality, judgment, and power. The alien queen had lived through wars, seen civilizations rise and fall. Her perspective was vast, shaped by centuries of triumph and loss. Elara stepped toward the chamber window, her eyes scanning the planet below. I once ruled many worlds. I commanded fleets that spanned the stars. I was feared. I destroyed when necessary. Yet here I see a species that does not follow fear alone. Humans survive through ingenuity, compassion, and cooperation. Kai felt a surge of hope. We are not perfect, but we strive to improve. That is how we endure. The Queen turned her gaze back to him. Endurance is only the beginning. You will face tests, choices that will define your species. I will watch and I will guide where needed. Kai's mind raced. Tests, choices? What did she mean? Yet he felt no fear. He felt excitement, the kind that comes from standing at the edge of discovery, knowing that the future depended on courage and cleverness. Elara extended her hands, palms open, toward the humans on the monitors. Suddenly she projected a holographic image of herself, visible to all aboard the station. Her form floated above the control panels, glowing faintly, and her voice echoed in both mind and station speakers. Humans, you have awakened me. I do not seek war, yet I will not be ignored. Those who follow wisdom and courage will find allies in me. Those who choose recklessness will face consequences. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Some were fascinated, some fearful. Dr. Hana spoke softly through the intercom. Kai, she is intelligent. Not just intelligent, ancient. We must listen and learn. Kai nodded. He could feel the truth in her words. Elara's power was beyond any technology humans had ever created. She could manipulate systems, energy, and perhaps even minds. Yet she had chosen not to attack. She had chosen observation and tests. Human, you will lead the first trial, Elara said in Kai's mind. Show me the qualities that define your species. Show me why humans deserve to survive in this galaxy. Kai's eyes widened. A trial? What do you mean? Actions speak louder than words, she replied. The survival of your station, your people, and your species may depend on your choices. I will watch. I will guide. But you must act. Kai felt a mixture of excitement and tension. This was the moment he had unknowingly prepared for his entire life. As an engineer, he had faced impossible problems and found solutions. Now his ingenuity, courage, and leadership would be tested in ways he could not yet imagine. The Queen raised her hands again, and the chamber shifted. Panels extended from walls, creating a maze-like structure within the room. Energy barriers pulsed, blocking some paths and opening others. Kai realized this was part of the test. It was not merely a physical trial. It was a challenge of intelligence, strategy, and creativity. Kai turned to the crew. We have to work together. Follow my lead. Observe the patterns, adapt, and respond. This is not just about survival. It is about showing what humans can do. The crew nodded. They trusted Kai as they had countless times before, but this was different. The stakes were no longer measured in science experiments or engineering failures. The stakes were measured in the approval of a being who had ruled the stars and witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. As they began navigating the energy maze, Kai noticed how Elara observed every move. Her eyes followed each person, noting their decisions, their creativity, their courage. When one crew member hesitated, she seemed to pause, as if waiting to see what choice they would make. When another found an innovative way to bypass a barrier, Her eyes brightened slightly. Kai realized that the Queen's test was not just about problem-solving. It was about morality, teamwork, and adaptability. She wanted to see if humans could think under pressure, act with intelligence, and work together without fear of failure. Hours passed as they moved through the maze, overcoming obstacles, repairing broken systems, and responding to unexpected challenges. Every success and failure was noted by Elara. Kai felt her presence constantly, like a guiding force and a quiet judge. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the team reached the center of the chamber. Elara's form appeared before them, glowing softly, her expression unreadable. "You have performed well," she said in Kai's mind. "You have shown courage, intelligence, and cooperation. You have proven that your species has potential. Yet this is only the beginning. Greater challenges await. The galaxy is not forgiving, and survival requires more than skill. It requires wisdom, heart, and unity." Kai felt a sense of accomplishment, but he also understood the gravity of her words. This was not a simple test. It was a glimpse of the trials they would face if humans were to explore, expand, and endure in a universe filled with ancient powers and unknown dangers. Elara's gaze softened further. "Human, you have earned my attention. I will observe your actions, guide where necessary, and reveal knowledge that may aid your species. But remember, the choices you make will define not only your survival, but your place in the galaxy." Kai nodded. "We will do our best. We will not fail." The Queen's eyes shimmered with approval. "I believe you will try. That is the beginning of greatness." As she stepped back, the energy in the chamber subsided and the maze dissolved. The crew floated freely, exhausted but exhilarated. They had faced the first trial of the alien queen, survived, and proven themselves. Kai realized something profound. Humanity had always relied on ingenuity, courage, and cooperation to endure. Now these same qualities had been recognized by a being older and wiser than any human could imagine. For the first time, Kai understood that humans were not just survivors. They were explorers, innovators, and perhaps, in the eyes of an ancient queen, worthy of joining the stars in ways they had never imagined. The chamber doors opened fully, and Elara's presence filled the room with warmth and quiet power. She did not speak further, but Kai sensed her thoughts. "The future is yours to shape, human. Begin wisely." Kai floated toward the controls, a new sense of purpose in his heart. The journey had only begun, but humanity's first steps into a wider galaxy had been witnessed by someone who had seen it all before. The alien queen was awake, and the humans were ready. The humans aboard the Horizon had barely recovered from the alien queen's first trial, when the station's alarm suddenly blared. Red lights flashed across the walls and the hum of machinery grew louder. Kai and the crew floated toward the control room, where sensors showed an unusual energy pattern approaching the station. Elara appeared beside Kai, her presence calm, yet commanding. "This is the next test, human," she said in his mind. "You will face challenges that require more than intelligence. You will need courage, resourcefulness, and unity." Kai swallowed and nodded. He could feel the weight of her words. The humans had passed the first test by solving her maze, but this was different. Now they were facing a real threat, one that could harm the station and everyone aboard. "Everyone listen," Kai said, floating to the center of the room. "We have unknown energy approaching. We don't know what it is, but we need to be ready. Elara is observing us. How we respond now will matter more than ever." The crew worked quickly, checking all systems. Engineers reinforced energy shields. Scientists monitored the incoming signals, and Kai coordinated the team. He noticed that the alien queen's presence seemed to amplify their abilities. Her energy flowed through the station subtly, guiding their hands, making calculations easier, and revealing weaknesses they had not seen before. Minutes later, a shadow appeared on the station's long-range sensors. It was a fleet of alien ships, old yet powerful, resembling the vessels Kai had seen in historical archives. They were remnants of a civilization that had fought Elara's empire centuries ago. The ships were massive, bristling with weapons, and moving in a formation that suggested intelligence and strategy. Kai's heart raced. "They're approaching fast. Shields are up, but we need more than defense. We need to think creatively." Elara's voice echoed in his mind. "Observe, adapt, act. Humans have survived by turning weakness into strength. Use what you know. Use what you can create. Kai turned to the engineers. We need to modify the station's defense systems. Reroute power to the shields, but keep some energy flowing to auxiliary systems. We can use our mobility in orbit to our advantage. The crew worked as one, following Kai's instructions. Panels slid open, wires were rerouted, and energy hummed through circuits. Every decision required quick thinking. Every mistake could be fatal. Yet Kai noticed something remarkable. Despite fear, the humans worked together, combining their knowledge and skills to solve problems in ways that even he had not anticipated. Elara observed silently, her eyes glowing softly. Ingenuity, courage, unity. These are the traits that define survival. Humans are unpredictable yet capable of greatness. As the alien ships approached, Kai noticed a flaw in their formation. One of the smaller vessels lagged slightly behind, leaving a weak point in the fleet's defenses. If we can create a distraction, we can exploit that weakness, he said. The scientists hesitated. But we don't have weapons strong enough to destroy even one ship, Dr. Hana said. Kai smiled. We don't need to destroy it. We only need to disrupt their formation. Follow me. Using the station's auxiliary drones, Kai directed a series of maneuvers to create illusions of additional ships. Lights flashed across the void. Energy pulses simulated attacks, and the alien fleet reacted instinctively, adjusting their formation to avoid imaginary threats. Elara's voice entered his mind. Clever. Humans use creativity, not brute force. This is why you endure. Kai guided the team to exploit the weak point. They redirected energy from the station's shields to emit a powerful electromagnetic pulse, carefully timed to strike the lagging ship. The pulse disabled its systems temporarily, causing the fleet to falter. The humans cheered quietly. They had survived the first wave, but Kai knew this was only the beginning. Ilara's trials were far from over. Suddenly, one of the alien ships fired a concentrated energy beam at the station. Kai shouted, "Brace for impact! Divert power to front shields." The station shook violently as the beam struck. Panels flickered, alarms blared, and humans struggled to maintain control. Kai guided them, keeping calm under pressure. He noticed that the Queen's energy pulsed through the systems, stabilizing circuits that had begun to fail. Her presence was subtle yet vital, a silent support that allowed humans to respond with efficiency and courage. Minutes passed like hours. The humans adapted quickly, learning to read the enemy's patterns and respond with precision. Every decision required cooperation. Every move tested their ingenuity. Kai was impressed by how the team worked under pressure. Fear did not paralyze them. It focused them. Finally, Kai found an opportunity. Using the station's mobility thrusters, they maneuvered above the fleet, using the planet's gravity to swing into an advantageous position. With Elara's subtle guidance, they fired a series of energy pulses that disabled multiple ships without destroying them. The alien fleet, confused and disrupted, began to retreat. The station trembled from the last pulse, and then the alarms quieted. The humans floated in the control room, exhausted but victorious. Elara appeared before Kai, her presence calm yet powerful. You have shown adaptability, courage, and teamwork. You have faced a real threat and survived. This is only a fraction of what you may encounter. Yet your actions show that humans are capable of more than I expected. Kai felt a mixture of pride and relief. We did what we had to do. Thanks to your guidance, we found a way to survive. Elara tilted her head. Guidance is not the same as intervention. You acted on your own. That is what matters. You see danger, assess options, and respond. That is the essence of survival. Kai realized she was teaching them without controlling them. Humans had to act, to think, to take responsibility. This was the true test. It was not just about facing danger. It was about proving that humans could grow and adapt, that they could meet challenges with intelligence, creativity, and moral judgment. The crew slowly gathered around Kai. They looked tired, but their eyes shone with accomplishment. Dr. Hana spoke first. We survived because we worked together. Kai led us, but everyone contributed. This is what she wanted to see, isn't it? Kai nodded. Yes, Elara is testing more than our skills. She is testing how we think, how we respond, and how we work together. That is why we succeeded. Elara's presence lingered, soft and almost approving. Humans, you have shown potential. You are not perfect, but your species has traits that others lack. Ingenuity, compassion, courage, and adaptability. These will be your greatest tools in the galaxy. Kai felt a sense of responsibility. Humanity was fragile yet capable. They had survived challenges that could have destroyed them, and they had done so by relying on each other, by thinking creatively, and by trusting their own abilities. The Queen's gaze softened further. Remember this lesson. The galaxy is vast and dangerous. You will face enemies that are stronger, faster, and older than you. Yet your greatest advantage is not strength alone. It is your mind, your heart, and your willingness to act together. Kai floated toward the observation window, looking at the retreating alien fleet. He realized that the humans had not only survived but had also proven themselves. They had demonstrated that even in the face of overwhelming odds, ingenuity, courage, and cooperation could prevail. Elara spoke one final time in Kai's mind. This is only the beginning. Greater trials await. Yet you have shown that humans are not weak. You are survivors. You are explorers. And you have the potential to achieve greatness. Kai nodded silently. He understood the gravity of her words. The Queen had tested them in a real scenario, a situation that could have ended in disaster. Yet humanity had risen to the challenge, proving their worth not by destruction, but by intelligence, creativity, and unity. As the station returned to normal operations, Kai gathered the crew. We did more than survive. We showed what humans are capable of. Elara is observing us, yes, but she also believes in what we can do. We have to continue learning, preparing, and growing. This is only the start of something much larger. The crew exchanged determined glances. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and danger. They had adapted, acted together, and survived. The first true test of human ingenuity and courage was complete. Kai felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity had been observed by an ancient queen, one who had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. And yet in her eyes, humans had potential. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, Kai realized that humans were not just survivors. They were capable of greatness, even in the presence of beings far older and more powerful than themselves. Elara remained in the chamber, her presence quiet but potent. She would continue to observe, to guide subtly, and to test. Kai understood that the humans' journey had only begun. There were greater challenges ahead, but now they had faced danger and emerged stronger, wiser, and united. The calm after the first test did not last long aboard the Horizon. The humans had barely adjusted to Elara's presence and her trials when the station's long-range sensors picked up an approaching fleet. Unlike the previous encounter, this fleet was large, organized, and heavily armed. Kai floated to the control console, his mind racing. Commander Lana, we have incoming ships. They're not the same as before. These are stronger, and they're moving with clear intent to attack. Lana's voice was firm, but measured. Everyone, prepare for battle. Shields at maximum, all defensive systems online. We cannot underestimate this fleet. Elara appeared beside Kai, her energy calm but sharp. These are remnants of my enemies, human. They have learned from the past and will not forgive. They intend to destroy or capture anyone associated with my awakening. Kai swallowed. This was no longer a test. It was a real threat, one that could destroy the station and everyone aboard. He took a deep breath. Then we will fight smart, not just hard. Everyone follow my lead. This is our chance to prove ourselves again. The humans worked tirelessly, adjusting shields, rerouting energy, and reinforcing critical systems. Engineers floated from panel to panel, ensuring that every circuit was functioning at peak efficiency. Scientists monitored the fleet, analyzing their movements and weapon systems. Kai coordinated all actions, thinking several steps ahead, just as Elara had taught him. The alien fleet arrived faster than expected. Massive ships surrounded the station, their weapons glowing with deadly energy. The humans braced for the first strike, but Kai had already noticed a pattern in their movements. He directed the crew to exploit small gaps in their formation. Dr. Hana, focus on their energy signatures, Kai said. We need to predict their attacks before they happen. Engineer Milo, reroute power to the shields and thrusters. We will use the station's movement to confuse them. Minutes turned into tense hours. The fleet attacked with precision, firing energy beams and launching drones to disable the station. Every strike tested the humans' ability to adapt under pressure. Every challenge required teamwork, quick thinking, and creativity. Elara observed silently, her energy subtly guiding critical systems. "Observe their choices, human," she said in Kai's mind. "See how they respond when survival is at stake. Their ingenuity will define their worth." Kai noticed that the alien ships relied on predictable attack patterns. Using the station's thrusters, he maneuvered the horizon in a series of sharp arcs, causing the fleet to overshoot their targets. Small groups of ships collided, disabling each other without any human fire. "Keep moving, stay unpredictable," Kai shouted. His voice was calm yet filled with authority. The crew responded immediately, adjusting shields and weapons with precision. Each action showed courage and adaptability. Elara's energy pulsed through the station, stabilizing failing circuits and reinforcing shields. She did not take control, she only amplified the humans' abilities. Kai realized that this was exactly what she intended. Humans had to act, or fail. They had to trust their instincts, work together, and rely on their skills. Suddenly, one of the alien ships fired a massive energy cannon directly at the station. The beam cut through space like a silver blade. Kai shouted, "Divert all remaining power to front shields, brace for impact." The station shook violently as the beam struck. Panels sparked, lights flickered, and alarms screamed. Humans clung to handrails, holding position while working on critical repairs. Kai guided them, keeping calm under pressure. He directed engineers to patch breaches, reroute power, and stabilize critical systems. Elara appeared in the control room, her presence soothing but powerful. "They will break you, human. Yet you will endure if you act with intelligence and courage." Kai felt a surge of determination. He looked at the crew and their eyes reflected the same resolve. "We can survive this," he said firmly. "We are humans. We adapt. We fight smart, not just strong." The alien fleet attempted to flank the station, but Kai anticipated the move. Using the station's thrusters and the planet's gravity, he swung the horizon in a high-speed orbit that forced the fleet to scatter. The humans redirected energy to auxiliary weapons, launching pulses that temporarily disabled enemy systems. Dr. Hana smiled through the intercom. "Kai, your strategy is working. We're gaining control." Kai nodded. "Keep pushing. Observe their weaknesses. Exploit every opportunity." The battle continued, fierce and relentless. The humans faced a true test of endurance, courage, and ingenuity. Every decision mattered. Every mistake could be fatal. Yet Kai noticed something remarkable. Despite fear and exhaustion, the crew worked seamlessly. They improvised, adapted, and overcame obstacles in ways that no machine could predict. Elara's energy pulsed through the station again, subtle but vital. She did not command, she guided. "See how they act under pressure, human. Observe their creativity, courage, and unity." Hours passed as the humans continued their defense. The alien fleet began to falter. The humans' tactics, combined with Elara's subtle guidance, had disrupted their formations and disabled critical ships. The fleet's attacks became less coordinated, their movements slower and predictable. Kai knew they had an opportunity. "Everyone, focus on the weak points. We can force them to retreat if we act together. Timing is everything." The crew responded with precision. Energy pulses disabled multiple ships and the fleet, confused and disrupted, began to retreat. The station trembled as the last energy beam struck the shields, but the humans had survived. Elara appeared before Kai, her presence calm and approving. "You have faced a true threat, human. You have acted with intelligence, courage, and unity. These are the traits that define survival. Your species is capable of more than I expected." Kai felt a mixture of pride and relief. "We survived because we worked together. We adapted, improvised, and stayed focused. Everyone contributed." Elara tilted her head. "You have learned the value of cooperation under pressure. You have discovered that strength alone does not guarantee survival. Intelligence, courage, and teamwork are your greatest weapons." Kai nodded. "We understand. This battle was more than defense. It was a lesson in survival, strategy, and trust. The Queen's gaze softened further. Remember this lesson, human. The galaxy is vast and dangerous. You will face enemies stronger, older, and faster than you. Yet your greatest advantage is your mind, your heart, and your unity. Kai realized the truth in her words. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds and survived not through brute strength, but through intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation. They had proven themselves worthy of observation and guidance by an ancient queen who had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. The crew slowly gathered, exhausted but victorious. Dr. Hana spoke first. We survived. We faced danger and came out stronger. This is what Ilara wanted to see, isn't it? Kai nodded. Yes. This was more than a battle. This was a test of who we are, what humans can do, and how we work together. We have passed another trial. Ilara's presence lingered, quiet but powerful. She had tested them against a real threat, and humans had risen to the challenge. Kai understood that these trials were not just about survival. They were about growth, responsibility, and proving that humans could stand alongside powerful beings in the galaxy. The Queen spoke one final time, her voice gentle yet firm. Humans, you have shown potential. You are not perfect, but your species has traits that others lack. Ingenuity, courage, cooperation, and heart. These will guide you in the trials ahead. Kai felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity had faced an ancient enemy and emerged stronger. They had demonstrated that even in the face of overwhelming odds, intelligence, courage, and unity could prevail. Ilara remained in the chamber, observing silently. She would continue to guide subtly, test their abilities, and prepare them for the challenges that lay ahead. Kai understood that humanity's journey had only just begun, but now they had proven themselves to an ancient queen who had seen the rise and fall of countless civilizations. The alien threat had returned, but humanity had faced it together and survived. The station was battered but intact. The humans were exhausted but resilient. And Kai knew that the real test was yet to come. Ilara had awakened, and humanity had survived a threat that could have destroyed them. They had proven that humans were not just survivors. They were capable of greatness in the galaxy. The battle was over, but the lessons remained. Kai looked at the crew, determined and resolute. We have learned what we are capable of. The galaxy is vast and full of danger, but we are ready. Together we can face whatever comes next. Ilara's presence shimmered one last time, approving and calm. The future is yours to shape, human. Begin wisely. The horizon drifted silently in orbit above the pale blue planet, its hull battered but intact. Humanity had survived the alien fleet, and the humans aboard the station were exhausted but alive. Kai floated through the control room, checking systems, observing his crew, and thinking about the events of the past days. The alien queen, Ilara, remained nearby, her presence calm yet powerful. Human, her voice echoed in his mind. You have faced threats and proven yourselves capable. You have survived. Yet survival is only the beginning. Now we build together, Kai nodded. We are ready, Ilara. We want to learn from you, and we want to work with you. Humanity can be stronger with your knowledge. Ilara's eyes glimmered. Then we shall form an alliance. You will show your ingenuity, and I will share knowledge that has guided civilizations for centuries. Together, we will prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. Kai called the crew together. Commander Lana spoke first, her voice steady. Everyone listen. Ilara has offered an alliance. She will teach us advanced knowledge, and we will provide our skills, creativity, and determination. This is an opportunity to grow stronger together. The crew looked at one another, a mixture of excitement and cautious hope. Engineers, scientists, and security officers knew that this was a turning point for humanity. They would no longer face the galaxy alone. They had the guidance of an ancient queen who had seen countless civilizations rise and fall. The first step was to understand each other's abilities. Ilara began by sharing knowledge of energy manipulation, ship systems, and strategies that humans had never imagined. Her explanations were precise and her demonstrations were awe-inspiring. Kai and the engineers studied her methods carefully, adapting them to the Horizon's technology. Dr. Hana floated beside Kai, her eyes wide with excitement. Kai, this is incredible. The knowledge she shares, it's centuries ahead of us. We can integrate it into our systems and improve our technology faster than we ever thought possible. Kai nodded. Yes, but we must also remember to adapt it carefully. Elara's technology is powerful. We need to understand it fully before using it. We cannot rush. Meanwhile, the crew worked on improving the station's defenses, integrating Elara's guidance with human engineering. They built new energy shields, redesigned weapon systems, and enhanced mobility thrusters. Every adjustment showed that human ingenuity and creativity could complement ancient alien knowledge. Elara observed, occasionally offering subtle guidance. Do not follow blindly, humans. Your greatest strength is your ability to think, adapt, and create. Use that alongside my knowledge and you will become formidable. Kai realized that this was the true value of the Alliance. Humanity was not merely receiving power. They were learning to combine it with their own strengths. They were learning to think strategically, to innovate, and to adapt in ways that even an ancient queen could admire. Weeks passed as the horizon transformed. Systems that had once been simple were now advanced, integrating human creativity with alien technology. The crew trained tirelessly, learning new methods of defense, energy manipulation, and communication. They ran simulations of attacks, testing strategies, and improving coordination. Elara guided them without controlling them. She respected their independence, observing how they learned, adapted, and applied knowledge. Strength is not only in power, she said in Kai's mind. It is in wisdom, cooperation, and the courage to act together. Humans, you are beginning to understand this. Kai noticed a change in the crew. They had grown more confident, more capable, and more united. Fear no longer dominated their actions. Instead, they approached challenges with careful thought, courage, and creativity. Every obstacle became an opportunity to demonstrate human ingenuity. Then the sensors picked up another fleet, smaller but faster, approaching from beyond the planet's orbit. This time Kai did not panic. The crew had been trained, the systems had been improved, and Elara was ready to assist. This is a real test, humans, Elara said. Use what you have learned. Show that your species is ready to stand beside me. Kai addressed the crew. Everyone, this is the moment we have prepared for. Remember what we have learned. Work together, adapt, and act wisely. We are not just defending the station. We are proving what humans can do when we unite with knowledge and courage. The fleet approached rapidly, energy weapons glowing. The humans activated the enhanced shields and thrusters, using Elara's strategies to create confusion among the enemy. They coordinated attacks, directing energy pulses that disabled the smaller ships while conserving the station's resources. Elara guided subtly, her energy enhancing the humans' abilities without overriding their actions. Observe, adapt, and act. Your ingenuity is your greatest weapon. Kai noticed a gap in the fleet's formation just as he had before. Target that weak point. Timing is everything. The crew responded immediately, directing a combined attack that disabled multiple ships. The enemy fleet faltered, confused and disoriented by the humans' unexpected tactics. Kai realized that their success was not just due to Elara's guidance. It was their own intelligence, courage, and teamwork that made the difference. Hours passed as the battle continued. The humans remained focused, improvising when new challenges arose. Energy barriers shifted, enemy drones appeared unexpectedly, and weapon systems malfunctioned. Yet the crew adapted, using both their human ingenuity and the alien knowledge they had learned. Finally, the last of the enemy ships was disabled or forced to retreat. The station had survived, intact and stronger than ever. The crew floated in relief, exhaustion mixed with exhilaration. They had faced a real threat, not a simulation, and had prevailed. Elara appeared before Kai, her presence calm and approving. You have proven yourselves human, not through power alone, but through intelligence, courage, and cooperation. You have learned to use knowledge wisely, and you have acted with heart. This is the essence of survival. Kai nodded. We did it because we worked together. We adapted, we learned, and we trusted each other. Your guidance helped, but it was our actions that made the difference. Elara's eyes glimmered. Yes, human. That is why I formed this alliance. Knowledge without understanding is meaningless. Power without wisdom is dangerous. Together, humans and I can face the galaxy and its challenges, prepared to endure, to learn, and to grow. The crew gathered around, listening intently. Commander Lana spoke, her voice steady. This is only the beginning. We have survived, we have learned, and we have proven ourselves. With Alara's guidance and our own skills, we are ready for whatever comes next. Kai looked at the Queen. We want to continue learning. We want to become stronger, not for war, but to protect ourselves and explore the galaxy. Will you help us? Alara's presence radiated calm approval. Yes, human. I will guide, teach, and observe. But remember, the greatest power is not in what I provide. It is in what you create together as humans. Your courage, your ingenuity, and your heart are your true strengths. Kai felt a sense of pride and responsibility. Humanity had faced incredible challenges, survived against overwhelming odds, and proven themselves worthy of an ancient queen's trust. Yet he understood that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown civilizations, challenges, and discoveries. Humans would need all their skills, courage, and intelligence to thrive. The alliance between humanity and Alara grew stronger each day. The crew trained, studied, and prepared. Systems were improved, strategies developed, and humans learned to think in new ways, combining creativity with precision, courage with wisdom. Kai observed the changes in his team. They were no longer just survivors. They were innovators, explorers, and strategists. They had faced fear and uncertainty and emerged stronger, united, and capable of great things. Alara spoke once more, her voice gentle but firm. Humans, you have proven yourselves. You are not perfect, but you have potential. Together, we will face the challenges of the galaxy. We will endure, learn, and grow. This is the beginning of a new era. Kai smiled. Then we will face it together with courage, intelligence, and unity. The humans cheered quietly, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The Queen had awakened, and humanity had proven that they were not just capable of surviving, they were capable of greatness. The horizon floated in orbit, a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and resilience. With Alara's guidance and their own skills, humanity was ready to explore the galaxy, face its challenges, and shape their own destiny. Kai looked at the stars beyond the station, feeling a sense of awe and responsibility. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, but humanity had proven that they could rise to the challenge, that they could act with intelligence, courage, and heart. Alara's presence shimmered beside him, approving and calm. The future is yours to shape, humans. Begin wisely, act courageously, and endure together. Kai nodded, knowing that humanity's journey had only just begun. They had survived the past, learned from the present, and were ready for the future. Together with the Queen, humans would face the unknown and show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. And so, the alliance was formed. Humans and an ancient alien queen, united by trust, courage, and ingenuity, prepared to explore the stars, defend against threats, and create a future that no one could imagine. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy would take notice.